All right. Welcome, everybody. Hope everyone is having a great week so far. I know we're only Tuesday, but here we are, March 16th. Can you guys believe it? It's
No.
amazing how all the days start to like just mesh together, right? So today, what we wanted to do was we wanted to gather everybody and just to share a perspective on one of the ways that you can generate income within the crypto space. We have Tyler on here, who's very knowledgeable when it comes down to trading bots and just the world of crypto, as you guys have tuned in before. So we wanted to bring Tyler on and just share his perspective with crypto bots, and one of the platforms that we're leveraging in particular, just so that he could share his perspective with all of you. I know some of you guys might know what a crypto trading bot is. Some of you guys might not. So Tyler, if you want to give them just the rundown, I think that'll be swell.
Perfect. Yeah. So yeah, a trading bot. I mean, like lots of you guys know these different platforms that typically you lose you lose possession of your cryptocurrency when you give it to somebody else to trade in a bot, right? So with this, you're able to actually retain control of your assets and still use a trading bot. It's just it's not guaranteed returns, say like a 1.4% a day or something like that. But what it is, what comes with like a little bit less guarantee, you can actually make more some days, less some days. So like, I've had trailing stop losses set with this bot. I usually set it at 2% gains, and I've had to go up to like 3.8% per trade in gains. So if you could do that on a daily basis, it's just compounding behind the scenes. It's working 24 hours a day. That can be a huge thing. The other good thing about it is you're not stuck to just like one set of a pair to trade, right? So you guys are able to, trade different pairs. You guys are able to design the bot how you want it. So there's a bunch of different settings. So over time, when we start using it more and more, we'll be able to share settings with you guys as well. So that's going to be another good thing, is that like, if we find one that's really killing it with a certain, setup, then we can share that with you guys, and then you guys can use it as well. Right. Now the difference with this is, I started with $100 trades. So I started with just each position that I bring, it's $100. And maximum, it'll go up to $150 position, because what it does is if the trade starts going against you, it opens up a safety trade, is what they call it, to try to limit your losses. So then it does safety trades. So the most that you're going to be putting into a trade is $150. Now you can do it any amount that you want, obviously. But what I suggest you guys do is that don't put, more than like 30% of your whole position into these bots, because you don't want to be playing with like 100% of your crypto. And this is the thing that these other platforms do too. So say if you buy a position in like these other platforms that's like, say, 0.2 ETH, then you just, all that 0.2 ETH is gone. Whereas like if you had 0.2 ETH to play with this bot, you could just trade with like 30% of it, and then you're not risking your whole portfolio on these trades, right? You're just in the background, just stacking. It's just growing over time, right? So, this is the reason why I like these bots better. There's a ton of different bots for trading for cryptocurrency out there. This one is really, really good for multiple reasons. Super easy to set up. So like the setup process, literally like from when you download it to when you as long as you have like Binance, Bybit, and all that stuff set up, you can literally be up and running in like 15, 20 minutes. It's done. Like there's no like prolonged like six training videos like teaching you how to set it up. It's already all done. Very, very easy to integrate. So that's one good bonus. The other bonus is obviously they have an affiliate program. So like if you guys share it with people that you guys will get paid for that as well, which is always good, because you guys are going to be able to reinvest that money back into trading, right? So that's always good if you can just get some passive income coming from people that you're sharing it with. You're teaching people how to get into the market. So this is people love the thought of trading bots, because the thought of like you having to like learn charting, learn entry points, learning how to exit, learning, trailing stop losses, all these different things. There's a lot of, there's a big learning curve in that. What the bot can do is it takes that learning curve out, if that makes sense. So that's why I've been testing it. I've been actually doing really, really well when you consider that the positions have been very, very small. It's not like life-changing money, but I've also only been doing $100 positions, right? So you can create bots that are good for on the way up. You can create bots that buy positions on the way down. So you can play the market on both sides. So you can actually make money when Bitcoin's going up. You can make money when Bitcoin's going down. Same with the other pairs that you're going to be trading with. So very, very powerful tool. You know, I'm going to start making bigger and bigger positions as we go, but so far it's been amazing. You know, I haven't had the only two losing trades that I've had so far are the ones that I panicked sold. Even though I don't know why I sold it, because it's only $100 position, but it was going so far against me, like 10%. I didn't want it to keep on going. So I canceled the trade, and it actually says on there, I panic sold, but that's the only two that I lost. If I would have just let those ones go, I probably wouldn't have lost on them either. Right. But it's important you set your stop losses. So like if you go to sleep and the trade goes against you, you can only go against you so much before it'll exit your trade. So then you don't lose all your money. So stop losses are very, very important. But you know, the stop losses that I have set up on here are pretty big, like 25%. So if I lose 25% of my position, I get out of it. So, you know, we can show you guys how to do all that kind of stuff. But yeah, like it's been doing really, really well. Do you guys, who on here already has like Binance and Bybit and all that stuff? Do you guys already have all that stuff set up? Okay. Yeah. You guys will have to get.
People here don't have it. Do you want to just quickly talk about what a pair is, just for those of you that don't know what a pair is? So do me a favor, for those of you that know what a pair is, put a 1 in the chat just so we can get a heads up. Or just nod your head for those of you that are on video. 2. Yeah, so I don't think 0.5. So if you want to just explain what a pair is, and I like how you explained the whole thing about a stop loss. Again, your stop loss is just a safety mechanism to get you out of that trade before it goes further down, right?
Yeah, so a trading pair would be, for instance, if you wanted to trade Bitcoin against Ethereum, right? So that would be considered a trading pair. So on the chart, it compares those two prices against each other. So it's not so much like if Bitcoin goes down and then Ethereum goes up, there's a spread there, right? So that's what you're playing. You're playing that spread. So it's the value difference between the two. So, you know, I usually use, like, the ones I started with are USDT because it's a base currency. It's not going to fluctuate. It's just at $1. And then I trade it against Bitcoin. And then what I do is when I settle the trade, I settle the trade in Bitcoin every single time. So that way, like, my Bitcoin value goes up, like the amount of Bitcoin I have over time goes up. Now I also have a bot. So actually I'll share my screen. It might be easier for you guys to see it. So you guys can see, this is the 3 comma setup here. Now this is the one bot I have. So this is like $200 positions, and I name it like $200 positions. It's a long bot, so it only takes long positions. It doesn't short the market. And see, this is where the stop loss is. So if my trade started going all the way this way so far, so say if I'm betting the market for VET against Bitcoin. So I'm betting the market that VET is going to outperform Bitcoin, basically is what that trade's saying. So if Bitcoin outperforms VET, then this starts going the other direction. And this is where the stop loss would be. So if say Bitcoin started going up and then VET started crashing, this would move to my stop loss and it would automatically get me out of the trade. So that I don't have to worry about, like, if I'm sleeping and something happens in the market. Because a lot of times, like, if you leave an open trade through the night when you're sleeping, sometimes it can get you and you can lose a lot of money that way. So stop losses are important for those type of trades. But this is what a trading pair is VET against BTC. Now, the cool thing about this bot is it scans the market. It scans the market for a good place to trade, right? So I have it set for like almost all of the pairs. So I don't have to individually go into each one of the pairs and like look at the chart, see which one's going to be doing good, which one's a good one to buy, which a good one to get into, because the bot is constantly scanning the market for that. I also have it set so I can only be in one trade at a time. Now you can have this set so the bot will open up as many trades as you want at a time, which is if you have more money at $200 per position, you can have it trading multiple pairs at the exact same time. But I only have it set for one at a time right now because I'm just testing it, right? Just 1 second, guys.
So I think when it comes down to it, you know, with this particular platform, for those of you that are wanting to learn about trading and things like that, it's a great starting point, because for those of you that aren't too familiar with it all, going into more of a robust, like full out, like it could be confusing, because there's a lot of trading bots that are really confusing to set up. I really like this one because it's so simplistic and so simple. And again, you don't need to have a significant amount of money to be able to be playing with this all, because the more familiar you get with Binance, with these platforms here, the easier it is for you to move into, more advanced strategies, right?
Yeah. And I mean, this thing is good also because you can buy indicators that you can hook the bot straight to the indicator. So I bought an indicator called Vision Algo. I'm going to be just playing with that this next week, but you can actually set it up so it follows the algorithm and it follows their buy and sell signals as the algorithm goes along. So you can pair a trading bot with like an algorithm, and when that happens, you can technically you could do just amazing results, because I watched this algo work live on YouTube, and it was amazing. It was calling the buy and sells almost perfectly. It was insane how accurate it was. So if you had that coupled with this bot and you were playing the market on both sides, and especially when you get into like leverage trading, where say if you're going to leverage 4 to 1, so say for every $10 that you have, you can trade for $40. So you can buy more of the Bitcoin or whatever pair you're trading. And on the way up, you're going to make that extra 4 times what you would have if you would have not leveraged traded. But the other side of the coin is if it goes against you, then you're losing 4 times as much as you would have if you didn't have a leverage. So I don't suggest you guys start with leverage trading. I think that's something that you guys should wait on until you have a little bit of experience, and then you guys have a little bit of a bigger portfolio to start with. But it can be a way where you can really, really start making huge movements. Whereas like, when you have your money tied up in these other platforms, if they're promising a 1.4% return, you could easily do 1% a day on this. Easy. I have my bot set to 2%, and most times it exits the trade daily. There has been a few where it takes a few days because the market went the other way and it has to catch up. But, I've been doing 3%, 3.8%, huge gains, percentage wise. And that's what you guys want to look at. It's not the dollar value that you guys want to look at. It's the percentage of a gain that you're getting. Because if you only have $1,000 to trade with, you're not going to make life-changing money overnight. Like, it's going to take a while for you guys to be able to stack that portfolio. And then eventually you're trading with $2,000, and then eventually you're trading with $3,000, then $4,000, and it starts to go up. And this is when you'll start, getting those gains that are actually, life-changing, where it's like, now you're actually starting to see the dollars go up. With these trades I'm doing 3-4% on the trade. So I'm only making $4 on a trade because it's only a $100 position. But it's the percentage that matters. And I'm only testing small just so I don't blow my whole portfolio on something new that I've just, got involved in. Right. So far, this has been amazing. It's been the best one that I've seen for sure, just for the simplicity of it. How you can get in there. There's also another thing you can do. You can discover a bot. So you don't even have to set up your own settings. What you can do is you come in here, you can filter what you want. So say you want to know what percentage profit you want to run, 0 to 3. So you do a search. So now it does. So these are the pairs. So USD algo, that's the pair it's trading. And you can just start now and it'll actually put the bot into your system and it'll already trade. It's been running for 18 days and it's done 2.97% per day in that time, which is amazing, right? So if you think about it, if you can just pick out the bots, and like I would suggest trading with a pair that you like, because it's a little bit more interesting that way. Say if there's a project that you really like and you want to trade that project alone, then just find that pair and then trade it, with the bot. It's super, super easy. And of course, we're going to be doing more in-depth trainings and stuff like that for anybody that wants to actually set this up. Like I'm actually working on a training right now where it'll walk you through how to set it all up. So you guys don't have to worry about not having, not being able to do that. But we walked through it, me and Rod, and it was 15 minutes and we were done. It was super, super fast. So, there is a free version of the bot as well. So you guys can get in and just play with it. You get a free initial setup, and then there's a free version of it, but you can only have like one bot running at a time. So it's, and then otherwise it costs, I think I paid $384 for the year for the bot. So not too bad. If you pay for the year for the level that I got, I think it's $50 a month for the bot. So as long as you're making over $50 a month with it, then it's worthwhile to have it. Right. Obviously you'd want to make more than $50 a month if you're going to pay $50 a month for it. But you know, it's an amazing place to start. And like Rod said, it's a good place to start because it gets you in the game of like, you can go and look at the pair that you're trading. You can go and look at the chart on TradingView and you can see why the bot is putting the trades. You can actually follow along and start to learn slowly why is it entering the trade at this point? Why is it exiting? And you start to learn charting a little bit better. Whereas before, you know, if you did it on your own, you have to learn charting. You have to learn all these different skills before you can actually get into the trading game, right? And then of course, how to navigate Binance, how to like enter your trades and all this stuff, which is again, another hard thing to do if you've never done it before is, you know, getting into, you know, Binance and being like, how do I open up the trades? How do I trade this pair? You know, there's a bit of a learning curve there, but the bot does all that for you. So you don't really have to even learn that part right away. All you got to do is like literally put your cryptocurrency in Binance and let it sit there. And then the bot does everything else for you. Right. You know, and like I said, the number one thing I like about it is you don't lose ownership of your assets, which is, we all know that, you know, things that have been happening in the last little while, that's a very, very important thing, not to lose control of your assets because, you know, that's when things can go south. Because then basically what you're doing is you're trusting other people to do the right thing. And, you know how that works out. You can't always trust people.
Yeah. Well, I'll share with you guys my experience with when I set mine up. So I did 0.3 Ethereum and I just picked all Ethereum pairs. So everything that revolved around Ethereum, because that's what I had in my Binance that I wanted to play with. So I picked an amount. So it was just 0.3 Ethereum. And then within a 2-week period, that bot, it was a short bot, not like what Tyler has, a long one. Mine was a short. And I ended up profiting, it was $497 in 2 weeks off of that 0.3 Ethereum. So again, like the benefit of really understanding how to do this trading is that for one, you're going to familiarize yourself with Binance. Binance is an excellent, like I feel it's one of the greatest exchanges. You know, you guys hear me talk about Binance Smart Chain, right? Obviously you want to learn what the Binance platform is and how you use it and just maneuvering your way through it, because it isn't as simple as crypto.com or ShapePay for you Canadians on here, right? Like there's a lot more research and playing around with that you have to familiarize yourself with to get really comfortable with it, right? But that's it, is that it's really going through the process of seeing how the trades are initiated, seeing what happens. And then from there, as you start feeling more comfortable, then you start putting in more money that you want to play with, right? I was talking to someone earlier today, is this like, you know, like they have their bag, you know, their crypto bag, you know, their Ethereum, their Bitcoin and altcoins and things like that. But when it comes to creating new streams of income, the important thing is don't dip into your bag where you have to pull all of that out to play with this stuff. Pick a dollar amount. So then that way you have your crypto that's gaining momentum, that's building and growing, and then you're using new money to create new money, right? So like Tyler was saying, like you can pick $100 position, a $200 position, it doesn't really matter, but it's getting you used to, you know, being in the market, right? Like, you know, one thing I shared with I was talking to Joshua earlier today. I was like, you know, one thing when it comes to investing, there's two golden rules. Don't invest money that you're not willing to lose. And the second one is to remove emotion from investing. What I mean by that is anger, frustration, resentment, sadness, all of those emotions, they don't mix well with the world of investing, right? And so when we can remove our emotion and we can just play with this, and, you know, the money that we dedicate towards it, it's just money that we're playing with to see it grow. Now it's a game. It's a completely different environment, as opposed to like, I need this to work. You know what I mean? I need this to make money. Now you're emotionally invested into it. And if it doesn't work for you, then you're going to be emotionally hijacked, and that's going to screw up a whole bunch of relationships in your life. And you're going to be extremely stressed out, and you're just not going to make more money, right?
Yeah, it's every single time, you know, I've made so many bad trades and it's always on emotion. It's like, you get this, like, you know how many times I've sold right at the bottom before a trade took off, where it's like, you know, this is why when stop losses are in place, you don't have that emotional attachment. It's if it hits your stop loss, it sells it. There's no like emotional attachment. But when I haven't used stop losses and I'm like watching the trade going the other way, I mean, it happened to me last night. I had a leverage trade in Bitcoin long and it just dumped, right? Everybody's seen what Bitcoin did over the last couple of days. I had a long position once it broke the all-time high, because typically when Bitcoin breaks an all-time high, it goes on an absolute run. This time, I even waited till it not just went past it. I waited till it went above $1,000, and then I entered the trade there. It went up $1,400 right away. So I was like, yes, I caught the trade good, and then just completely shit the bed. Now, you know, I was down 10% on the trade and it's leveraged. So that was quite a bit of money. So I was like, last night I was like, okay, if it breaks below 54, I'm selling, right? That was my mental stop loss. It broke below 54 temporarily. It went to 53,700 something. And I sold literally almost right at the bottom. And then it took off and went to 56, like right after. So that was because I had emotion in it, where if I would have set a stop loss when I first entered that trade, I would have not had that emotional attachment to that trade. It would have been like, if it hit the stop loss, then I would have been out less money. You know, so I made a mistake there. So these are the things that you have to do. Anytime you have an emotional attachment, you know how many times I've sold right at the bottom where it's like, oh my, if it goes, it's dumping, because sometimes the market moves really quick and you think it's going to continue moving that direction. But there's certain indicators and these other things that you look at. And when you look at the indicators and then your spidey sense are like, no, it's going to turn around. But then you're like, your emotions take over and you say, no, I got to get out before I lose all my money. And then exactly what the indicators are telling you, it turns around the other way. Right. You know, and, you know, it's happened to me many, many times in the short trading career I've had in about a year and a bit. But you learn each time you do that, you learn. And this is the great thing about a bot. You don't have that emotional attachment. It does all that decision-making for you. You know, you don't have to like look at all the charts. Cause if if I had to look at all the charts for all the trading pairs that I have my bot looking at, it would take me all day, every day to do it. You know, now I can concentrate on just like reading about new projects and getting involved in these new projects that I like and, you know, stacking cryptocurrency that way rather than trading specifically Bitcoin or Ethereum. Now, I would suggest you start with those pairs, like anything that pairs with Bitcoin or Ethereum. Bitcoin's a really good one because it has the most trading pairs attached to it. Also, it's, you know, Bitcoin is one that you guys should be like looking to stack up as much as you can over the short to long term, because they're, you know, it's going to be they're making less and less of it as it goes on, and everybody's going to be wanting to get into it eventually, right? So Bitcoin's one you should hold. Like between Bitcoin and Ethereum, you should have like 50% of your portfolio at least in those two, and you can use the bot to trade with those holdings that you're not going to trade with, where you're not going to like sell. Those are like your main holdings, right? Use the bot to trade pairs with your main holdings, and then it just stacks that more and more and more as time goes on. And this is running 24 hours a day behind the scenes. You guys don't have to worry about it. So super powerful. And if you don't have Binance in the States, that's cool. Kucoin is another good one that works really, really well in the States. And Kucoin, you can connect with this bot. You can actually almost connect almost every exchange with this bot. So it would be the exact same setup. It would just be with Kucoin instead of Binance. It's no different, right? You would just put your cryptocurrency in your Kucoin account and then connect the bot to it and then just let it trade, right? So super simple that way as well.
Do any of you guys have any questions?
I know that's kind of like, it's a lot to like take in, but you got to remember, it's like every marathon starts with one step. You know, it's just, you have to just take that first step and then eventually you get there. You know, I've taught myself all of this stuff, and I'm not any smarter than any of you guys. Like I just was like, okay, I'm just going to push buttons until something works. And, you know, that's basically how I've learned almost everything. I did the same thing with advertising. I did the same thing. You know, I was just like, okay, I'm just going to play with this until something, you know, starts to work. And, you know, it takes a lot of time that way, but you guys are lucky enough where you're not going to have to put that much time into it, because you're going to have someone to show you how to do it, which is very, very valuable as well. But, you know, I think, you know, everybody should have a certain percentage of their portfolio running with a bot. And I would say like 30% ish would probably be a good place to go. No more than that. You know, some people are like, yeah, dump all your money into the bot and let it rip. But then if it does a bad trade, you just lost your whole portfolio. And you do not want to do that, because how many times can you go through the pain of losing your whole portfolio before you just give up on crypto altogether? And we don't want you guys to do that, because, you know, the algorithm, oh, you mean the algo? Yeah, I can give you guys some information on that. I'll post it in here just in just a little bit. Yeah, I think the algorithm's $90 a month or something like that. So most people, it's probably not worth it, because you're not gonna be trading with enough money to make it worth it. And then you have to have TradingView Pro, which is another cost, which is like 200 and something bucks a year, I think it is. So it is, if you're going to be using the algorithm, it is going to be a little bit costly. But what I am going to be doing is, like, in my Discord group for cryptocurrency, I'm going to have coin alerts that you guys are going to have access to. I'm still working with the people that own the coin alerts, and to get it integrated into Discord. They should have it done this week. So you guys have access to that. And then you guys I'll also be running some live videos of the algorithm working. So like you guys can just enter and trade your positions that way. Now you would have to be manually doing the trading that way. So most people aren't going to be at that level quite yet, but you guys will have access to that algorithm anyway. If you guys are in the Discord group. So I wouldn't bother spending the money to get it yet until you guys have enough money. Because when you're spending $90 a month, plus the bot, plus the TradingView and all these other things, you want to be trading with thousands of dollars, because it's not worth it otherwise. Right. Yeah. You know, you're not going to spend $90 a month on a algorithm that when you're making like $200 trades. It just doesn't make sense to do that. But yeah, you guys will have access to it anyway. So what we'll be doing is we'll probably be doing like, we'll probably run some lives where you guys can just get on there and just watch it. Then there's going to be obviously some trade alerts eventually going on for Bitcoin specifically, that'll be in the group chat. So you won't necessarily have to watch the live, but like, say if there's a good entry point that comes up on the algorithm and I'm watching it, I'll put it in the Discord chat so you guys can follow along. So you guys will have access to that as well. But yeah, it's going to be, this is the start to something super fun, I think. I mean, it's just starting with $100 positions. I mean, I got to look at what I'm up here.
Yeah. So for those of you that are interested in like learning how to get into the whole crypto trading with the bot, connect with the person that shared this stuff with you guys. Just that way, you guys can game plan and figure out what's the best way to do it. And then we can get you guys set up. We can even do a Zoom where we can walk everyone through if the videos aren't ready, just so then that way everyone can just follow through it. It's super simple to do it.
Yeah, the video should be done this weekend.
Okay.
I was supposed to have them done last weekend, but I was sick.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll be done. I'm planning on having them done this week. I'm working on module 1 of like the overall crypto training program. I just mapped everything out last night, and there's fucking way more videos than I thought there was. It's going to be crazy, but I mapped it all out last night. So I'm going to be working on module 1, and that's going to be included with the setup of the 3 commas. Very, very easy. I will be showing the setup with Bybit and Binance. But if you guys can't get in on doing that stuff, just let me know. And I can just shoot a video for like Kucoin and stuff like that. Super easy. I got Kucoin as an exchange anyway. So I can just shoot that one real quick. No big deal.
Cool.
Yeah. I've done $47.89 in profit in the last 2 weeks on $100 positions. So that's like a 47% return on the $100 positions, right? Which is pretty crazy to be able to get that kind of a return in that short of a time. If I was playing with $10,000, that would have been $4,700, right? Basically. So that's a huge, huge difference in the amount that you can do some crazy numbers with this stuff. But again, you don't want to be like, get all greedy and be like, I'm going to throw all my cash in there, because it just takes one trade that goes the opposite direction. I haven't had any yet. Like I said, the only 2 trades I've lost on are the ones that I exited early. And then afterwards I was like, what did I do that? Like, I was only down $3 when you really look at it, but it was just like, again, it was the emotion. Like Bitcoin was just dumping, and I was just like, okay, I'm down 10% already, and it's going to go down another 10%. There's no point in staying in this trade. So I just exited it. But yeah, those are the only times I've lost. And I mean, to have that kind of a win percentage right away is insane. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm just scratching the surface. This is just like the first couple of rounds that we've been doing, right? I just actually discovered that discover a bot thing yesterday, where like they already have pre-built bots where you literally just hit a button and it starts rolling in your account. Like, that's insane.
Yeah. I know some people that have other bots that have lost, their whole bag, like 14 grand in a day, just because their settings weren't accurate or weren't correct. And see, this is why we're really wanting you guys, if you guys are wanting to play in this arena, starting off something small. Don't go all out, because then it's a whole new language. It's a whole new art form, right? And so as you start to familiarize yourself with it and start understanding it a little bit more, because when you start to feel comfortable and confident going into it, then you're going to make a lot more money, right? Because you already know what's capable. But if you start off with thousands of dollars and this is your first time doing this stuff, it may not be beneficial for you, because you might be really emotional with it and you might make mistakes, which I shouldn't say might, you potentially may make mistakes, right? And so you're better off doing it with $100, $200, something small. So then that way you like look at it as, okay, this is my training ground. And, again, we'll probably be doing Zoom calls to support you guys and assist you guys. The Discord's available so you guys can ask questions there and all that stuff, right? So yeah, like, do you guys have any specific questions at all?
Yeah, how like, so for how long do you set up these trades for? Is there a specific time, or is it flexible, or how does that?
Like time frames that you set them up?
Right. Yeah.
Well, it runs 24 hours a day, just like the crypto market. So there's no time frames. What it does is it just enters trades when it finds a position that's going to be good. Now, my USDT and Binance and Bitcoin, it enters trade after trade. So once one closes, it enters another one right away. It just keeps on entering trades, because there's always a good enter position for USDT and BTC. But when you do other pairs, it waits until like, I don't know what the bot's looking for data, but it looks for data across all the different pairs. And when it finds a pair that hits on all the points, then it opens up a trade right away. And so that way it like catches the market really quick, because it's always scanning. So the time frame of when you're in trades, it all depends on how fast the market's moving. I've had trades open and close within the same hour, because Bitcoin is moving so quickly, right? And I've also had trades take 3 days to close, where I just had XLM and BTC, and that was open for three or 4 days, I think it was, and before it closed. But then it finally closed in profit. I made 3% on the trade, but I was down quite a bit for a while.
What determines that? Like, I guess I'm just trying to understand how.
So say if like, so when you're trading a pair, so when you're playing a long pair, again, so say I'm just going to use XLM and BTC, right? So if you open a position long XLM, what you're saying is that XLM is going to outperform Bitcoin, right? So as XLM goes up or Bitcoin goes down, that spread grows, and then that's where you sell, is the 3% or the 1%, 2%, 3% spread. So that's where you make your money. So you open the trade, you buy XLM, and then when it gains value against Bitcoin, then you sell it, and then you sell it into Bitcoin. So you're actually making the spread. So that's what happens when you trade the pairs. You're actually trading the spread. Now that's why a good place for you guys to start is USDT, because there is no spread. All you guys are like, it's a very, very easy in the mind. When you start playing pairs, it is a lot tougher to get your head wrapped around, like the spread of like them moving apart from each other or moving. So sometimes you might have XLM moving with Bitcoin, and that's not good either, because you're not making that spread. XLM is going up in value, but it's not going up in value against Bitcoin. And that's the pair that you're trading. This is why USDT is very, very easy to trade, because it stays at 1 all the time. So all you got to know is if you're trading USDT and Bitcoin, all you got to know in a long position is if Bitcoin goes up, you're making money. If Bitcoin goes down, you're losing money. Super easy. Now it gets more complicated when you get into the pairs, because XLM could be going up, but not at the same rate as Bitcoin. So then there's a whole bunch of different things involved there, but your bot is set up to sell at a certain percentage gain, right? So you can start at 1%, 2%, 3%. I would say 1% to 2% would probably be a good range. 1% wouldn't be a bad spot for people getting started. I set mine at 2. and just let it rip. But yeah, so it just depends on what pair you're doing. But that's why USDT, like I said before, you guys start with USDT because it's a very easy, simple thing to do. USDT and whatever the other cryptocurrency that you're pairing it with. So that could be Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, whatever you want. But that means that you can watch the charts and if Cardano goes up, it's moving in the right direction for you. If you're in a long, if you're in a short position, which means you're playing the market down, then you want the market to go down to make money, right? It just depends on what side you're playing. In a bull market like we're in right now, I would suggest starting with long bots, just because the overall general direction of the market is up, right? So you're going to enter more long positions than you would short. And if you had to choose one or the other, long positions are a lot easier to understand, because another thing that people have a hard time wrapping their head around is, how do I make money when the market goes down, right? So that takes that variable out of your thought process where like you can understand it, and then start adding in short bots as you go and understanding the market. I mean, it's pretty powerful when you can play the market both ways, because you make money when Bitcoin goes up, and then when it makes a dip, you're making money on the way down as well. So like you're making, when the market's going like this, and it always does, it's up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, you're making money both ways, right? So, and then of course your base crypto is also gaining in value. So it's like, it's compounding over time, which is where you start to see huge gains, right? Does that make sense?
Makes sense. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. No worries. Yeah. But yeah, it's, you guys will learn this stuff as you go. Like it is a lot to take in, but you guys are going to remember, don't think about it as like just this huge mountain to climb. It's just do one thing at a time, get the Binance and these other programs set up. And then just go from there. We'll be here to support you guys, obviously.
Did you say Binance is not in the US?
Yeah, but Binance has a US version, but it's not quite
Binance.us.
What's that?
Binance.us. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can use Kucoin. You can use any of those other ones. Kucoin's another really good one for Americans. I would say for Americans, it's probably the best exchange, for sure. For decentralized, centralized exchange. The good thing about these exchanges is you don't pay the huge, like say if you're trading ETH, you don't pay huge gas fees, right?
That's KU.
Yeah.
Yeah,
KU and then coin. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of has like a green logo. So I have Kucoin, but there's nothing in it. And so what do I transfer? I might have missed that, but do I transfer the crypto into that app and then connect it?
Yeah.
To
like you can connect it before, like if you have 3 commons, you can connect it before, it's not a big deal. Okay. But yeah, you would transfer it into the spot wallet. So you'll have a wallet address for whatever crypto you're going to transfer in there. So you would just get that wallet address, transfer it in there, and then that would be the amount that you start trading. So then you would have to pick a pair that works with that, right? So like, say if you have Ethereum, you have to pick Ethereum pairs, or if you have Bitcoin, you have to pick Bitcoin pairs, or you can just transfer it into USDT and then you can trade anything, right? So it just depends on what you want to do. I mean, I don't like holding too much USDT because it's connected to a depreciating asset, which is the American dollar. So, it's a good place for security purposes. If you want to like, if you want to switch between assets and stuff like that. And at the end of the bull market, it's good to get into these stable coins. But USDT, I don't like to hold too much in there, but I do hold some because it's good for trading certain pairs, because you can basically trade any pair with USDT. It's like, I don't even know if there's anything that you can't trade with it. So, I mean, it's a good place, if you're going to, if you have, I don't know, if you have Ethereum already, I would trade Ethereum pairs. Let's just put it that way, because then you can still hold Ethereum and have that like increase in value. Whereas if you switched your Ethereum into USDT just to trade on the bot, then you're not going to get that gain in Ethereum when it runs up, right? So, if you have Ethereum or Bitcoin, I would keep your main bag in that either one of those coins, and then just trade pairs against those. Probably the best way to do it.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and if you guys have any questions, you guys want to get set up, just reach out to Tara or Pam or whoever. Reach out to me. We'll get you guys all set up, and then we get you guys going from there. And then we'll go from there, guys. But
yeah, I mean, like there's, you know, whoever, like I know Rod, you probably have. Does everybody set up on 3 commas yet? Because I know there's affiliate links for it. So
yeah,
just make sure before you go on to the site, just to talk to whoever you're with, so they can get you a link to it, just so we can, you know, there's no point in giving 3 commas the commissions when you could give it to one of us, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So
that's all that happens if you go right on 3 commas. They're like, yeah, we get to keep that guy.
For sure. So if you don't have 3 commas set up yet, don't set it up. Just wait to talk to whoever. I don't like using the word upline, but whoever shared this stuff with you guys, whoever brought you into this group, talk to them and find out if they're doing 3 commas, or if they have a 3 commas link. And if they don't, reach out to me, reach out to Tyler, then we can get you guys figured out there. Reach out to Pam or whoever, and then we'll go from there. You know, before we close out, like, so we'll let me close off this here when it comes to 3 commas and just the whole world of just the bot side. Give me one sec.
Okay. Yeah, and you guys, I dropped a link to my Discord in there. You